Hello there, Purple Banditos, and welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Platinum Randomizer Nuzlocke. I'm PurpleRodri. Last time, we made our way through Route 206 Cycling Road, and we arrived right in between Oreburgh City and Eterna City. In today's episode, we're going to continue our adventure and see if we can catch a couple more Pokemon here in Route 206, as well as Wayward Cave, like you guys suggested. Once again, thank you guys for all of your suggestions. They're much appreciated, and as you guys can see, we've actually run into a Tyranitar, so that is awesome. That is really, really cool. This is the Pokemon we're gonna be catching, so I guess we've lucked out yet again. I'm actually really happy for this. We are gonna have another super awesome strong Pokemon on our team. Make sure you guys give this video a like for some, random pseudo-legendary action, because we've gotten really lucky so far. Okay, that's about all I want to do there with the fighting type moves. I'm actually gonna go ahead and use one more False Swipe, and then hopefully we'll be able to catch this Pokemon. I'm not sure about the catch rate on this Tyranitar, but let's hope that it'll be somewhat decent so that we can catch it. This is an amazing Pokemon that could really help us out. I know that I've been saying that I haven't been having too much luck with Pokemon since we keep running by legendaries, or we keep, we keep bumping into Pokemon that are the given ones on the route. So this is actually really nice that for once we bumped into something really cool and crazy that was randomized. I don't think you'll be finding any level 16 Tyranitars in the grass anytime soon. Let's go ahead and throw the Pokeball then, and no way, okay, there we have it, guys. So gotcha, Tyranitar was caught, and that was one of the easiest catches we've had for a Pokemon that is so strong. Even Rhaegar gave us a tough time and knocked out Alto. With that though, if it rampages and knocks down mountains and buries rivers, maps must be redrawn afterward. So it's a rock dark Pokemon. We're gonna go ahead and give it a nickname now. This is just gonna be a simple nickname. It's also a female, so that's pretty cool. I feel like we've got a lot of female Pokemon. We're gonna call it Map. So with that, Map is gonna go ahead and be sent to the PC, because as they said, it's something with maps and mapping around. Let's continue on though. I've also healed up our Pokemon. I bought a bunch of repels. I made a quick stop in Oreburgh City because I know that Wayward Cave is actually gonna be quite difficult. So that's gonna be what we're going to be going through today. Wayward Cave is gonna be really tough because I know how long and in-depth it is, but I'm gonna try my best to make it through. With that, guys, let's go ahead and enter inside of Wayward Cave. Once again, thank you guys for all your tips and comments. You guys have been giving me amazing tips, and you guys just make it so much easier on me when you help me out. I honestly would not have remembered Wayward Cave was here. It's been a long time since I've actually explored this area, so it's nice to be playing with some friends that actually know what the heck is going on in Sinnoh and all the little secret hidden areas where we can go and catch a couple more Pokemon. I feel like Pokemon are the most important thing about this Nuzlocke. They're like our lives, if you're playing through Mario, you have, your lives, or if you're playing Smash Bros, you have your stocks. Our Pokemon seems to be our lives here in this game, because if we run out of Pokemon, that could be a rough time. And I know from what we've already been through that it's probably only going to get tougher and tougher from here. So let's just hope that we can keep adding really good Pokemon that are going to help us out. Let's go ahead and keep on going though. I'm going to just keep using repels and just exploring through this area. Now, I'm pretty sure that we need to make our way to the end of Wayward Cave. I know that at the end of Wayward Cave, we actually have to find someone who we have to guide out. So that is what I'm going to be trying to do, as well as collecting all the items that I can, because I know there are a lot of really good items around here. I know that we're looking for Earthquake, which is supposedly around here. I'm not sure if it actually is going to be, but just, some sort of stuff of what I was hearing. So we're just going to look around, try to find everything that we can, even if Earthquake isn't here, and we're just going to, pick everything up, and hopefully that'll help us out. If we get stronger TMs, that is definitely something that could help us out in our adventure in the long run. Let's go ahead and take on these people, though. It looks like we're going to have a doubles battle already, so let's go ahead and take them on. This is actually pretty cool though. I like doing doubles battles. I think doubles battles are a lot of fun because our Pokemon get a ton more XP, and it's kind of nice. I like the fact that our Pokemon get more XP. The more the merrier, because it is so difficult to train up these Pokemon, especially Woody. Woody's been the most difficult one to train, but I'm sure once Woody picks up and gets a couple stronger moves, we'll be ready to go. All right, let me go ahead and actually use the Bubble Beam on the Chimchar. I'm going to go for the Bone Club on the Chimchar as well. I'm just going to try to knock out the Chimchar. I think that's the best way to do it. If you can just knock out one Pokemon at a time, you guys are going to be good, and the battles are just going to gonna be a piece of cake. Like I was saying, the Chimchar just absolutely got crushed. So very cool. Let's go ahead and take down this Hitmontop next. What the heck, dude? Can you chill? It's not like I'm switching out Coral right now. No need to use Pursuit on us. All right, let's go for another Bubble Beam on the Hitmontop. Once again, the Bone Club. So you know what? Our team is looking pretty good right now. I know you guys have been suggesting that I should train up our team a little bit, so I'll possibly be doing that next time. Maybe training them up to around like 25, get everybody around that level, because I know by the time we get to the 3rd gym, they're going to be about level 27, around there, and I don't want to be having, you know, too much trouble with it. What? He actually hit a crit on me? What the heck? What the heck? Like, seriously, this game needs to slow down a little bit with the crits. I feel like it's always me hitting the crit, or me getting hit by the crits. I feel like I never hit the crits until it's like some last minute thing. You know, I don't end up hitting the crits until like the Pokemon is like super weak, and I know I'm already gonna knock it out, so there's not even a point of me like landing the crit. Wait! What? Coral fainted? What the heck? Wait, I did not know Force Palm was gonna be... What? Oh my goodness, okay. Coral got knocked out. What the heck? All right, I'm going to send out Speedy Jr. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Coral got knocked out. That's our 2nd Pokemon that's been knocked out of the Nuzlocke. I wasn't even expecting that. I didn't expect Lucario to do that much damage. What the heck, really? Coral was higher level than the Lucario too. Okay, well, we lost a Pokemon, guys. Coral is out. That really sucks. I thought Coral was at least going to make it to the evolution, but I guess not. That's how this game goes. And you know what, Speedy, take out this Lucario, man. Payback. Payback for Coral. I can't believe that. That's ridiculous. I didn't expect us to actually get hit there that hard. Okay, well, that's kind of just some crappy luck. Well, you know what? Good thing we have a bunch of other great Pokemon in our PC, so we'll have to update our team as we get going. We're going to have to add another Pokemon now that Coral's out. And wow, I'm going to go ahead and actually put Rhaegar and Speedy up in front. I don't want to lose any more Pokemon, and I did not expect for us to actually lose one inside of this cave. I did not see that coming, so let's just take all precautions, and let's not cause any more casualties. There wasn't even anything here. What the heck, really? Okay, let's keep on going, though. That is a tough loss. Coral was a really strong Pokemon with that Bubble Beam. That definitely was helping us out. I guess it's a good thing that we have Woody, so we do have another water type ready to go in case we do come up against anything that's going to be like that. But wow, that is kind of sucky. I did not expect that at all, but I guess that's part of the Randomizer Nuzlocke. You don't really know what to expect, and that just sort of happened to us. Well, guys, it's time to see who we want to add. So you guys have already seen who I have on the team. So, you know, a lot of you guys have been asking me if I should do a question of the day. So today's question of the day is going to be, which Pokemon should I add to our team now that Coral is knocked out? And maybe I should even update our roster a little bit, because thinking about it, Marth is a little bit weak too. So I'm really starting to consider maybe adding some of the Pokemon that I have in the PC to our team. So just leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think I should update our team to, and I will most likely be doing that next time before, you know, we continue on to wherever it is we need to go. That is crazy. Oh, that we can just lose a Pokemon just like that out of nowhere. That's why we really have to be careful. I know that Coral has been with us for quite a while now, so just the fact that any Pokemon could be knocked out at any time, it's really crazy to think about that any Pokemon could just be knocked out. But let's keep on going then. I'm gonna go ahead and just try to knock out these little ghost type Pokemon. Man, what a crazy Nuzlocke that, you know, we bump into a Tyranitar here. Our Coral gets knocked out by a freaking Lucario. What is going on? This is madness. We're running into Suicunes in the wild. Honestly, the randomizer is really definitely doing its job. There's a whole heap of Pokemon coming out of us, and just a bunch of randomness is going on here. Let me go ahead and actually, yeah, I'm gonna forget Withdraw. We're gonna go ahead and learn Bite, so that's definitely gonna help us out quite a bit. Bite is definitely going to be really strong. Let's continue on, though. Let's go ahead and knock out these ghost Pokemon. You know what? Now I really want to make sure we get through this, you know, this Wayward Cave and really explore it and find everything that we can. We're doing it for Coral now, so we have to remember what happened to Coral here in Wayward Cave. And we're going to try to just beat down every trainer in the way because we are angry that that happened to us. So let's see. I thought this guy was going to tell us something. I thought he was saying that he was going to help guide us out of here, but I guess not. Let's continue exploring, though. What is that? A revive? Wow. If that isn't the game just rubbing it in our faces, I don't know what is. It just gave us a freaking revive after we lost a Pokemon. Thanks, game. Much appreciated. That's the game just like straight up just slapping you in the face. That's the game just telling you like, good try, buddy. We're gonna go ahead and make this even harder on you. But let's keep on going through here then. I'm actually kind of lost, so I am just gonna try to hopefully keep going deeper and deeper into this cave and heading in the right direction. So let's try for the best. We do have a lot of battles here though, so it seems like there's just a ton of doubles battles, which is okay. I mean, it's more experience, which is good for us, and at least we have the Rhaegar Speedy Jr. combination, which is gonna help us out. But you know, just thinking about this cave is reminding me of when I was a kid and I used to explore a bunch of different things. I told you guys the story that I went kayaking and explored a cave where there was a witch. But you know, back in the day in my old neighborhood, in my old house, when I was really young, I was probably like, you know, 10 years old or something. When we walked down my street, there used to be this really woodsy looking path, right? And I used to ride my bike just around my street, and I'd always see this little path, and I didn't know much about it. It wasn't until later that I actually, you know, noticed that there were just like wooden boards that you could like walk up through that path. So, you know, it was kind of like a really weird woodsy area. So then I walked through the path and I started exploring, and I realized that there was like a whole woodsy area back there, and there was just paths, and like, you know, it led through to different neighborhoods. It would actually lead to like it would lead us to some neighborhoods that my friends lived in, and it was just like a whole trail, a nature trail of paths just like hidden away, and only like certain people knew about it. It was kind of cool. I don't remember why, but my buddy Jacob, me and him would actually go back there and explore. I've talked about him before. He's usually been my rival in a couple Let's Plays. Good old friend of mine. You know, he was one of my best childhood friends. And we'd actually go back there and just explore around and you know, see what we could find. And it was really, really cool. Just like, you know, the thrill of it. The thrill of exploring our area when you didn't know what was going to be back there. We didn't know what the heck was going to be back there. If there were going to be like animals or you would never know people. We didn't know what was going on back there, but we used to just like explore it, and it was really cool. It was a really just awesome, open, like hidden away little area, and I just loved exploring it as a kid. I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh back then too, so we used to call it Millennium. I don't know why, that's just what we ended up naming it. We used to call it Millennium, so that's what we called that whole little like foresty area we used to explore, and it was really, really cool. I remember, you know, we used to like just create like little jokes and rumors like that there was like a Sasquatch back there, and that, you know, if you came at night, the Sasquatch came out, and that was just the type of thing that we used to do as kids to entertain ourselves. I think this was just our imagination was just so much bigger back then. We just, you know, do all these crazy things in order to just have a lot of fun, and it was a blast. And you know what? Exploring these types of caves in Pokemon just brings back these types of memories when I was younger. I think when you're younger, you have that little bit of like exploration and adventurous gene in you, and you just want to go out there, and no matter what the risk is, as dangerous as it was, I don't recommend ever going into the woods by yourself and doing that. But back when I was a kid, you know, that's what we did for fun, and it was actually a really, really good time. I enjoyed doing that. I've always had a good time with nature and, you know, exploring and adventuring, so it was always a lot of fun just, you know, going back there through Millennium and actually exploring. It's funny, if I told my buddy about that now, he'd probably just laugh it off and be like, yeah, we used to be some crazy kids, and, you know, it was a great time. Just food for thought there because of this little cave. It brings back those memories. I feel like I have so many good memories as a kid that tie back to Pokemon games, to these types of, you know, little areas that just trigger something in you. I think we all have that. I think we all have either a game or maybe just, you know, a special place in a game or a little area or something that just brings us back a memory or gives us a bit of nostalgia when we were kids. And I think that's what Pokemon does for me. Zelda too. Zelda and Pokemon, these games where you go out there and you're just like, you know, looking around new areas and just, you know, meeting new friends, and whoa, Speedy Jr. needs a potion. I am not risking this. Not risking this again. I am not risking any of our Pokemon, especially not Speedy Jr. I'm going to be using a potion next time because there's no way I want to lose another Pokemon. Not today. Not today, buddies. I do not want to lose another one of you guys on my team here. We already lost Coral. That's enough. So let me go ahead and actually, I'll use that on here, and I'm going to go ahead and use a super potion on Speedy Jr. There we have it. It's kind of sad to see Coral just knocked out, especially when we're exploring through here. And you know what? Coral was coming in so handy too. We need to find a couple better moves for Woody then, if Woody's really going to fill that, you know, water Pokemon role on our team. which I think definitely should. Like, Woody definitely should right now. If we could just hopefully, you know, get Surf very soon, we'll be good to go. Let me go ahead and finish this off, though. I'm going to go ahead and just go for the Twister, and we are just going to wrap things up here with this Wormadam. It's kind of weird seeing all these random Pokemon here, too. I don't expect to see these in the cave, so when I actually do see them in the cave, it's so weird. I have to stop and think for a second, like, what is this Pokemon doing here? And then I just remember that, you know, they're just all randomized, and anything we go up against is probably just going to be random, too, regardless of, you know, what Pokemon they are and what level they are. With that, though, let's see if one more Pokemon's going to come out. These trainers actually have a ton of Pokemon, by the way. I didn't think these guys were going to have that many. But dang, Wayward Cave is really, really difficult. Make sure you guys are careful making your way through here. You do not want to lose any Pokemon. But with that, the Leafeon went down. And come on, let's hopefully get out of this area now. Let's get to the end of the cave so I can actually find who we've been looking for inside of here. So let's keep on going deeper. This looks like the right way. I think I finally found the right area. I've kind of just been running around hoping that we bump in the right direction. And, you know, I'm hoping that we are. I've just kind of been talking about some random things that came to mind. So let's just hope that this randomness leads me down the right path. This is not the right path. Yet again, this place is such a freaking mess. Seriously. I wish we had like flash or something at this point. It just makes it so much more difficult when you can't really see where you're going. We're kind of just having to guess which direction it is. You know, Pokemon, the deeper you go into the cave, so the farther upwards we have to go is usually, you know, the direction where you exit the cave. So that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of just trying to make my way towards a corner or just towards the back of the cave. I think the back of the cave is where everything's gonna be. We've already battled these guys. Where the heck am I? I feel like I've looped around like 6 times now. That's the problem with Wayward Cave, that you can just get lost if you lose your sense of direction for like a second, you can just get trapped in Wayward Cave. Let me keep on going though. Okay, this does not seem right. Where am I? Where the heck in Wayward Cave am I? This seems okay. This seems good. This seems a little bit better. Wait, no, this is the entrance. Okay, so we're back at the entrance now. So I guess, yeah, at least we know how to get back to the entrance. I figured that one out. But I'm going to go ahead and start. We can start from here again. At least I know how to get to the entrance. The entrance is something that I pretty much have down. I remember this path. I remember the path all the way back. So let me go ahead and see if I can figure out another little path for us. I am going to head up here. So many freaking repels we have to use too. I bought like 20 and we've already used half of them. Repels have to be some of the most expensive things on this game too, so hopefully we can start making a little more Poke Cash. I'd really like to find the amulet coin soon so we can start making some money to, you know, spend a little more on Pokeballs and Great Balls and everything to come rather than have to just waste it on everything else. All right, let's keep on going though. This seems a little bit right. I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling good about this area. Have we battled them yet? I feel like we have battled these trainers, didn't we? Oh, mother fudger. I'm stuck again. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's just backtrack, and let's go down a path for a little bit. I think there was a path going down. There we go. That's it. So just keep finding the rock smash, the rocks that you can smash, and that'll actually lead you in the right direction. So I think we're actually headed down the right path now. We've pretty much found every other path. So if this isn't the right path, I don't even know what else to tell you. This is it. This is definitely it. This feels good. We're headed, you know, towards some rock smashing. So this has to be the right direction. Hopefully this will be well worth it too. This looks pretty good. All right, yeah, I'm feeling good, guys. We're actually going to be able to make our way through here then. And then once we actually make our way to the back, I should be able to guide us out in a very good, you know, reasonable way. I should be able to remember everything quite good. Where the heck? I'm looking for this little girl that's supposed to be inside of this cave. So where is she exactly? She should be there she is. Okay, I'm Mira. I was catching Pokemon, then I got lost. I'm so scared. Please take me to the exit. With that, Mira has decided to tag along with us, and we actually have to lead her out of here. Now, I know she's going to go ahead and probably heal up Coral, but regardless of that, Coral is still going to be out for this Randomizer Nuzlocke. She's pretty much what Cheryl was, those types of Pokemon trainers that, you know, they just tag along with you and heal up your Pokemon as you go. So it's pretty good. I mean, your best chance of exploring Wayward Cave is probably to find her first and to go from there. I do not want to go go down that path. I don't know what the heck is gonna be down there. So let me go ahead and try to find our way back to the exit. I think I know where I'm going. I'm feeling pretty good. Also, I guess I haven't really found the earthquake TM, which I think was gonna be here. I might be wrong about that though. I'm not too sure. So let's just keep on going. What the heck? Let me use a rappel. I don't know why I was trying to use the bike. All right, let's get out of here then. Whoa, nope. I'm trying to tell myself that I'm a pro at getting out of this cave. Also, you can't use an escape rope to get out of here. Just a heads up. You are not going to be using an escape rope when you have another person with you tagging along. This is good, ladies and gentlemen. This is good. We're actually very, very close to making our way out of here. And you know what? Another good thing about having Mira with us is that we can get a chance at catching a Pokemon we want with her. Because if we do end up having a random encounter, we can basically just choose which one of the two we want. So that's another reason why I've been using the repels, because I want to make sure I go after a Pokemon with Mira so I can actually have a chance at two and I can pick the one I want. Or, I mean, she's probably going to end up knocking one out anyways, because that's how this works. But let's go ahead and run around then, and let's see if we can bump into a Pokemon. There we go. Let's see what Pokemon are going to pop out. Oh, okay, so a Slowking and a Geodude. I'm going for that Slowking. We lost a water type today. I think having a Slowking on our team would be really, really great. And Geodude, I don't know. I've just never been too big of a fan of Geodude, especially since it doesn't even get that strong until you do the whole trade thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to knock out this Geodude. All right, that was a one-hit KO. I'm going to try my best to catch this Slowking. I'm going to try my best, as I said, because this Tangrowth is probably going to end up KOing this thing. Maybe I should have caught this Pokemon on my own. Maybe I should have ran around on my own. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe. All right, the Slowking's going to go for the water gun, though. All right, what should I do here? I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to KO the Tangrowth. That is going to be for the best. You guys actually told me to do this before. You guys were like, if you want it, mother fudger. All right, this thing's going to mega drain my freaking Slowking. Slowking's such a cool Pokemon, too. What the heck? Oh, wow, it actually survived with like 2 HP. All right, so at least I'm going to have a chance to throw a Pokeball at it. Why are you attacking me? Slowking, I'm trying to help you out here. Let's throw a Pokeball at it, and let's hope for the best. If not, next time, this freaking Tangrowth is going to end up knocking it out. I'm surprised we actually didn't knock the Tangrowth out, too. This thing's got a lot of HP, but with that, guys, we caught the Slowking, so very nice. We actually managed to catch it. I'm pretty happy with that catch. That is going to be a very great addition to our team, so let's go ahead and see. You know, we have Slowking, the Water Psychic type. This is actually a very, very strong Pokemon. We're going to go ahead and give it a nickname, so now, you know, we're building these Psychic types in our PC. That's actually really, really good. I know that a lot of you guys told me that the Meta-type we caught is going to be very strong against Ice types. So, you know, we do have a strong weakness to Ice type right now, too. So, we're going to go ahead and call this Slowking Loke. With that, Loke has been transferred to the PC, and we are good to make our way out of here. Very cool. I'm going to figure out what Pokemon we're going to add to our team next time. Really? There's a freaking Charmeleon in here? Why couldn't I bump into a Charmeleon when I need a fire type? Ah, Randomizer, why do you do this to me? This Randomizer does not want to give me a fire type at all. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, there's the exit. I want to get tougher so I won't be such a scaredy cat. Bye-bye. Thank you. All right, no problem, Mira. No idea who she is. All I know is we had to rescue her, and I guess that's good. I can't believe that this game does not want to give me a fire type. I feel like I've been treating my Pokemon really, really good, and we deserve to have a fire type. Fire types are my favorite Pokemon, too. I can't believe we haven't bumped into, like, one yet. We've already gone through a bunch of routes. I mean, we'll have a bunch more routes to go through soon, too. So, you know, I'm expecting we'll bump into a fire type, hopefully soon. But I can't believe it. Every time we want a fire type, we end up getting a water type. And then we end up bumping into a fire type. A Charmeleon? That would have been awesome. I would have had a Charizard on our team. Imagine having a Charizard on our team, having Speedy on our team, Rhaegar, Link. That would have, Woody, that team would have been stacked. We would have been stacked with a Charizard. Ah, that's too bad. That's too bad. Maybe we'll end up bumping into a stronger fire type later on. But it's, you know, Charizard, that whole Charmeleon, Charmander line is one of my favorites. So it's kind of crazy that there was one in that cave. I wish we would have bumped into it. But you know what? That is part of the randomizer. We're going to gain a bit of XP here, though. Let's see who this guy's going to send out. A Drifloon. Hopefully after this, we won't have any more battles, too. I do have a lot of training I'll probably be doing off screen next time so that we can continue our adventure. I know that next time we'll probably be headed out of Route 207, so there's gonna be a lot to do out of Route 207. I'll probably just train up here and then, you know, heal up in Orberg for a while. For those of you guys that are wondering, you know, how I'm gonna be doing the training, I'll probably just be training in these patches of grass right here and then just healing up in Orberg, and then once I feel like we're pretty good level, we should be continuing out from, you know, this city. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and see if we can find a little more around here. I really thought there was gonna be another TM here, so I'm just kind of surprised I haven't found it. I was really hoping we'd find, you know, just some more TMs to help us out. We found a poison barb, though. That's actually not bad. That's a pretty decent item. All right, let's go ahead and get back out of here then. There's not really much else I can see. Nope, it doesn't look like there's any more items around here. Oh, man, my repels are running out, too. We used almost 20 repels inside of Wayward Cave. That's pretty nuts if you think about it. That is a huge cave. Has to be one of the bigger caves in this game. And if you don't have flash, you're just hoping to make your way through there. Let's go ahead and pick up these berries, though. And that should be about it, you know, underneath this Route 206. So, guys, I'm actually feeling pretty good about today. Although we lost Coral, we did catch a Tyranitar, and we also caught a Slowking. So that'll definitely be helping us out. As I was telling you guys, make sure you give me some tips and comments on what Pokemon you guys want to see on our team next time. Now that we've lost Coral, we should possibly put Marth in the box. So I'm just going to be figuring that, you know, once I read your guys' comments and I end up training our Pokemon, I'll be figuring those things out. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a like. Next time, we'll head out here to Route 207 and make our way towards who knows where. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the comments you guys leave me, and I'll be catching you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.